My name is Luke Edson. I am an Idan with Silverstrand Dojo International. I have been training since the summer of 2001. I try and get my students and anybody else around me to think about their other arts that they do in their life and their martial arts as being the same art. You can learn things from one and it'll help you with the other. You can tear down all the illusions in between the two and just think of them as one art. Then anything you do in the woodshop or the dojo or the painting studio is all working towards the same goal. Today I'll be showing you two techniques that I'll be showing an empty hand version and a version with the Jo, just to show you how that you can use your empty hand techniques and adjust if you're holding an object, and the versatility of the martial arts. The first technique that we'll be doing is Kaiten-nage from Kaiten-nage. Many people would wonder why I would have my arm sticking out for an assailant to grab. I want to have my hands up in some way if I sense aggression, or even if I don't, I might have a hand up in a non-aggressive manner, talking with my hands, so that, again, I have a hand up. If I already sense an aggressive situation, A, I want to have my hand up, and B, I want to give him a target that is not my face or a more vital area. So I will put my hand out as sort of a fish hook, as bait. The first step is, Uke will grab my hand, Katate-tori. He will attempt to pull me in. At this point, I will ateme with my right hand towards Uke's face, so that he will move his head a little bit. I will then sidestep behind, lift his arm, and as I'm lifting his arm, pass his head underneath him. Kaiten-nage. The Jo staff can be used to perform Aiki-jo techniques in a similar manner as an empty hand technique. The Jo staff does not have to be used as a striking instrument. It can be used to extend my reach. It can be used to manipulate the Uke's balance in many of the similar ways that I could do with an empty hand technique. Again, one of the main advantages is that I can provide myself with much more distance from Uke. If I hold the Jo up, perhaps this might be enough, hopefully, to encourage him to cease and desist with his attack. But if not, he's either got to come around the Jo to get me, or he's got to grab it. So if he grabs and pulls, I will move the butt end of the staff over and perform an ateme towards his head. I will sidestep. Twist the staff. And Kaiten-nage. The next technique I'll be performing is Shihi-nage, and in this, the Uke will attack me Yokomanuchi. He attacks me Yokomanuchi. I will step inside the arc of his attack and move in the direction of his attack. I will bring his arm down in between us and grasp it with both hands. Step in close and low, and bring Uke's arm over my head. Once his arm is in front of my shoulder, I can stand up, point his hand towards the ground, and execute the throw. In this technique, instead of myself starting with the Jo, Uke will attack me with the Jo. I think this is one of the most important techniques that can be learned with empty hand versus Jo, because the Jo resembles so many other instruments that someone can pick up, be it a pipe, a stick, a 2x4, a baseball bat, and I think this is one of the most common ways that somebody might be attacked. Uke will start with the Jo in a baseball bat-like position, and he's going to swing it around at me in an arc. Now, it doesn't matter if he swings around completely sideways, if he comes in at a slightly more angle of attack, but I think most people, when they pick up something like this, are going to swing it like they would a baseball bat. Most of the force is focused on the end of the Jo, less force is going on by Uke's hands. More speed is going on at the end of the Jo, less speed is going on by Uke's hands. So I need to step in as close as I can, meeting my hands with Uke's hands, moving with the arc of the attack, just as I did with the last empty hand version of Shihi-nage. At this point, I've stepped in close. Now I can try and attempt to grab the Jo and extend my hands out, thus grasping more of the Jo than Uke has. We're still moving with the arc of the attack. I will then push the Jo towards Uke's knees, lift up, come over Uke's head. Shihi-nage. I think wood is a lot like people. Every tree is an individual, every board is an individual. And you can't work the exact same way with every single piece of wood. Just like you can't work the exact same way with every uke in the dojo. Things have to be adjusted for. And sometimes it's about precision. Sometimes you have to get the perfectly square, smooth edge on the wood. Sometimes you have to get the throw in certain regards exactly the same, the joint lock exactly the same. But you always have to make adjustments for the board or for the person so that you can achieve that. And sometimes it's best not to fight what is naturally given to you. The more you try and force something, the less success you're going to have, be it in carpentry or martial arts or anything else that I could think of. Take this board, for example. When I made these, they were oriented inside the board as you see me holding them now. There was a giant knot right here, right in the middle of the board. Completely unworkable, nothing you can do with that knot. But it bent the grain around itself in the board. And I thought, well, let's try and take a half of a guitar out here and a half of a guitar out here, and in the end, we can put them together like that, and we'll have this cool pattern here coming out. And so, rather than just taking whatever piece of wood I had and trying to force it into whatever shape I decided was best, I let the wood decide what shape this guitar should be, what shape was best. And didn't try and fight it and set up whatever kind of shape I wanted and then cover it up with a bunch of paint. When I'm done with this, you'll be able to see every line of this wood. You know, this tree had to take time to develop, just like carpentry or martial arts or anything like that. You know, there's so many parallels I can think of. For instance, count how many lines are in this board. That's how many years older one side of this board is than the other side. That represents 30 years of progress, at least. Maybe more, because I haven't counted them, but just to think that part of this has been in existence longer than the other part. It had to grow. Just like our martial arts, just like anything else. You have to practice, trial and error, intuition, all these things come into play down here in my woodshop in the dojo. I hope this video helps that you see the versatility of your techniques, how that they don't have to be isolated into thinking of them in one strict way, how you can adapt. Thanks to Silverstrand for helping me to learn the martial arts in the first place and introducing me to them.